you will be able to hear the trailer for that companion chronicle right now.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Companion Chronicles, The Sleeping City.
I don't think you fully appreciate the seriousness of your situation, Mr. Chesterton.
Oh, believe me, I do.
You're aware of the impact your disappearance made?
I haven't really kept up with the papers, to be honest.
Conscious dream mingling is just the tip of Limbus. Limbus connects the people of Hisk subconsciously too. It encourages our citizens to truly know each other, to share who they are and what they hope to be together. It feeds into our real lives, helps us work for the common good.
Focus. Focus on the light.
Would it help if I were to say members of my department were already aware of the Doctor?
What? I don't understand.
There have been certain events since your departure which have brought him to our attention.
There, my child. It was just a dream, that's all. Just a dream. It wasn't, though, she said. It was real. I felt a hand on my shoulder in Nimbus, and when I turned round, it was Bennett. My old guardian, Bennett. But his face wasn't right somehow. I'm trying to investigate a murder here and prevent a second.
Big Finish. We love stories.
And welcome back to the TARDIS Travel Guide. I'm Jarrod, joined still by
Mark of Marku 42.
And
Design Heroes.
So at the
Is Zion the only one that gets to see his last name? Is that how it works on this show?
He's the one that's less likely to get doxxed.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I will go with that and stop right
Possibly. There. I have no clue. That might actually be the exact opposite.
So, yeah. I said at the top of the show, we are the Doctor Who podcast that randomly reviews Doctor Who, and that is because we have this wonderful randomizer from TARDIS.guide that selects stories for us to review. And this week it selected a companion chronicle from Big Finish called The Sleeping City, which is very, very good. It's a companion chronicle featuring William Russell as Ian Chesterton, alongside of a secondary voice actor named John Banks. And it was released in February of 2014, so over 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And written by Ian Potter, who has written a lot of First Doctor.
I actually wanted to bring up, so John Banks, who played Jarrod, I was looking up his IMDb, and he's done mostly, Big Finish audios and other audio books. It's what he does.
Right.
But did you know that back in the day, he was on 6 episodes of Allo Allo as an Italian soldier? Did you know that?
No.
It was, you don't want to. I like the show. It was a great show about Nazi France during the occupation and Nazis and all the fun and frolics you can have during World War II in France. That was Allo Allo. And Ian Potter, the gentleman who wrote this, did you know he's one of the writers and performers on Riff Tracks Presents?
Yep.
That is kind of cool. I got to go and look at his back catalog of that.
Yep. Now, for our listeners who may not be familiar with Big Finish and their output, I do want to speak a little bit on the Companion Chronicles and what they are, what they were. For a long time at Big Finish, they had a strict no recasting rule, which meant if the actor who portrayed the role had passed away, they would not recast them, period. That's it. Thus, when you come to the first Doctor's era, at this point, Jacqueline Hill was gone. Obviously, William Hartnell was gone. So there were no real options for a full cast audio featuring that Doctor and that TARDIS team, right? So what they've come up with was the Companion Chronicles, which was very much a whenever it's really funny because when The Power of the Doctor came, that Jodie Whittaker finale, and it showed Graham's companion support group, I immediately thought of the Companion Chronicles because really what the basis is companions sitting around telling stories of their travels with the Doctor, of things
Wow,
that
that's
of things that
cool.
happened. And so yeah,
Hmm.
when I saw that part of The Power of the Doctor, I was like, Big Finish might be on a trick here because they could get people and frame it inside of one of Graham's companion circles. But regardless, that is what the Companion Chronicles came from. They used it primarily to tell stories for doctors that they did not have the entire cast for, or so your first doctor, your second doctor, your third doctor. And back when it started, the fourth doctor was there too because Tom Baker had not agreed to do Big Finish yet.
Yeah, and
Since
that's how you had Louise Jameson doing her own stories,
Yep,
and Mary Tam did do some of the Companion
yeah,
Chronicles
Mary
along with Lala. So yeah,
along with Lala, yep.
yeah. It was a great
And
line. It was a great and they still release them. They still do some of those, don't they? They still release
yeah,
Companion Chronicles in box sets now.
correct.
Yeah.
It's not one because they were little one disc releases. So every month you would get one 2-part story featuring some companion. After a while, they did start doing them with later doctors. There's a really good companion chronicle called Solitaire, which features India Fisher that I think everyone should listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
it deals with the Celestial Toy Maker. And most of them are two-handers where it's the companion actor and one other voice actor doing a lot of the stuff there. Um, so yeah, Mark, what do you think about, as they are still doing it, this format specifically, when you're listening to a story and it's a two-hander, but it's not because you've got someone telling the story part of the time and then there's someone bouncing off of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a combination between an audio book and an audio drama. And more and more I enjoy audio books now, but audio dramas, the Big Fish ones work. So when they do Companion Chronicles, I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds, and you're getting stories. If you had a full cast, how do I say this? I don't want to say they make these on the cheap, but they can make these for less money and put them out more easily, and they're still written very well, just like the other ones. Everything Big Finish puts out, the writers are incredible. During the convention, Florida SuperCon, when I was at the panel, um, Christopher Eccleston was talking about the fact that the writers of these stories, he doesn't see why they aren't using these writers on the TV because
I
they're
agree.
these are great stories, great writers, and I find the Companion Chronicles work for me just as much as a full audio drama. It works. Two-handers are great. When I watch EastEnders, I love the episodes where they do a two-hander. I love to. Robert Holmes used to love two-hander double act characters, and I think they work.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate it as well. And one of the other things about the Companion Chronicles range is we get hidden gems out of it. There are things that come out of the Companion Chronicles that no one expected and just provide hours and hours of entertainment. I'm going to use a shining example of
Go for it.
Fraser Hines as the second Doctor. When the very first time I listened to a Fraser Hines audio and he did his impression of Patrick Troughton, it was like he had resurrected that man from the grave. It was,
100%.
Hmm.
100%. Fraser Hines did a great second. Um, and of course Michael Troughton is doing it now,
yep,
but Fraser did a great job. And you're
yeah,
right. Every Companion Chronicle that he was in, a second Doctor story, he played both parts and it worked. And then they had someone else play something else. So you had more than just a two-hander because you had Fraser playing at least two people.
yeah. And then a lot of times, if there's one with the Daleks, you would have Nick Briggs as
Mm-hmm.
the voice of the Daleks and other
A third
things.
actor. Yeah.
Zion, what's your thoughts on this storytelling style for
Okay,
audios?
okay. Just to be clear, when you mean two-hander, you mean the narrator speaking for two characters, right?
Or there's a narrator and one other actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like okay,
Two actors working out on each other. Two actors
mm,
working on each other
Yeah.
is a two-hander.
okay, something like what the Rocket Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I when you were bringing up like that, it works because like obviously as you said, I didn't know that like there was a rule that like you can use people. So like it makes sense. But like my thing that gets me is the selection. It's like
Hmm.
how do you choose the right person to narrate all of these people? Like for example, William Russell was doing like like four different voices for
Right.
Rocket Man
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So like I find it more interesting in the fact that like you can somehow make a story do more with less.
It's really funny you just brought that up, and there is a line at the end of The Sleeping City. This isn't a spoiler, it's just very funny. There is a line where it's mentioned that William Russell Ian is telling the story and he does a bad Vicky impression.
Okay, I have to bring something up here. I have to bring something up
Yeah.
here. Okay, so Vicky has never been my most favorite character. I don't hate her. It's not she's not Adric, but
Hmm.
Vicky has been a substitute. And I'm listening to the story, and I had listened to this when it first came out, but I'm listening to it again for the
Hmm.
first time in a long time, and I'm hearing the portrayal of Vicky, and I'm going, boy, she's whiny and stuff. And then when you find out the thing at the end that you're talking about, it means that Ian thought basically the same thing of Vicky that I do.
Right.
That Ian did not have a great opinion of Vicky, and I find that hysterical. I found that
That
very funny.
that as Ian was telling the story, he was telling her as the way he remembered her, and he remembered her as being whiny. So yeah,
Whiny and yeah, pretty much.
yeah, that was
I
funny.
love that. I love that.
So the opening scene for this story, I wanted to touch about it briefly, because I found it very interesting. Is basically, spoiler alert, faithful listener, but this is the first 5 minutes of the show of the story. If you need a spoiler for it, fine. You have Ian locked up in a cell, and you have some agent MI5, whoever it is, come in and says, "Hey, we need to talk to you. Tell me about the doctor." Blah, blah. And if something had happened, I wonder realistically, as I was listening to it, would that happen to former companions? Because we know that Unit goes after former companions.
Yeah,
Yes.
and wasn't this before a unit?
Yes. Well,
So could have been
well,
Torchwood,
it was 2000. Well, this was released in 2014.
right?
So
No, but I don't mean that. But I mean this takes place, well, supposedly in 1960.
60s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I don't. Unit wasn't formed late 60s, early 70s. If you go unit timeline, that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
So if this was around the time as, let's just say, Yetis in the Underground,
Hmm.
okay, maybe you would go find all these other people, but I could see this happening, like going and tracking down these poor people who thought they had escaped the doctor and come to find out they hadn't.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was very believable.
Yeah. And of course, the guy is telling Ian, we've got Barbara locked up next door, and you better tell us the same story, and we're going to corroborate, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, but this was,
Someone's reading a lot of spy novels here,
yeah,
and
I
that's not really a spoiler, but yeah.
I will say that this has the pacing of a Hartnell story. You can tell that Ian Potter knows the Hartnell era very well. It does have that evocation of it. The story is a little bit slower. It's a little bit of a lighter pace. in the first half. We landed and went shopping. That's basically the first 15 minutes of the audio.
Oh, sounds like the Romans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is actually named, I mentioned in this somewhere. If I remember correctly, the Assisium market is mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very, as we've talked about in the past, very evocative of the era that it is meant to represent. Not all the Companion Chronicles are like that, unfortunately. They can be a bit of a mixed bag, but I enjoyed this one.
Yeah. I enjoyed it the first time I heard it back in, what was it, 2014, and I enjoyed it again this time. And it's funny because I turn it on and I'm going, oh yeah, I think I remember this one. And then the more it was going, I'm going, oh yeah, and it's a great story. And I wish this show that we are doing gave spoilers so I could go really into it. But can I just say that the market does make a perfect setting for the story.
Yeah.
It features into the plot. It's not just a setting, it's part of the story. It's a character in the story, if I'm correct, in my opinion on there.
Exactly.
I enjoyed it in the sense that like it is just, and like this is just how like I look at Big Finish in general, and that's how like I look at it and like it. Is that it's just essentially like a small bit of in between of the episodes. Like I did this one thing once where like I tried to do a home run and try and watch things and then listen to the audios in between, and this would line up exactly with what happens there. Like there was this one time where they met the master, right? And like I always felt like stories like that were like a bit off-putting because like of course he'd remember when he met the master as the first Doctor and this and that, and so whenever you have just these off stories that just don't really have any big implications but it's just good, I very much enjoy them.
I was just about to say that. Zion, how much of an exposure have you had to the first Doctor's era visually?
A lot. Okay. I watched all of it, and oh my goodness, I try, and this is a good tie-in to what I just said. When I was doing the Grand Slam run, I tried to get past the reconstructions.
The reconstructions. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god. And then I got the Dalek Master Plan, and it just fell apart. It just all fell apart. I stuck around for Marco Polo. I stuck around for other things, but when it got to that, I'm like, oh my goodness, can they just find this thing, please? Because at the end they say like, oh, that last episode was like insane and so violent that like people had problems with it, and all you have is stills, and so like yeah, like that's essentially my experience with the first Doctor, watching it and then getting to the reconstructions and just trying to just deal with it.
I'll tell you flat out, if you're talking about the Dalek Master Plan, the Target novels are a lot easier way to go.
But the Target novels for the is very dense. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's a more enjoyable way to get through it quicker than sitting through the reconstruction.
Yes.
But I'm a completist. I've got to do it. And
Dalek Master Plan is a problem because like Katarina dies,
9 episodes
right?
don't exist. Yeah, so you're watching 9 reconstructions and 3 real episodes, and it is a bit of a hard ship to get through, but it's great.
The problem is that they have the scene where Katarina dies still there. I can see the moment right before it. I'm like, come on, just finish the story. Come on. So like whenever like I try to like get to like a point with Dalek Master Plan, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And I say, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not, but it's as good if you're in one medium than the other. It's as good.
Yeah.
Poor Katarina. Great idea for a companion, very poorly executed, and out the airlock she went, literally.
I love the
Yeah.
trampoline. The trampoline is fun.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. It is. To be honest, that's a very shocking scene. That's a very shocking scene. That is not something that a show like that you're thinking is going to happen. Katarina,
Also, I'm sorry.
I mean, she
Finish.
wasn't I'm not going to say waste of a character, but there wasn't much character. But the fact she was there and then the way she went, that was shocking. Back then, I'm sure it was.
Absolutely. Also, I never had a problem with Vicky. When she first came on, I found her actually kind of refreshing in contrast to a Susan, because like
Okay.
I love Susan, right? Especially in Big Finish, but in the show she doesn't do much, right? And given Vicky doesn't do much either, but like at least like they try to like show like she like has like some technical background to her. And so like when they tried that, I was like, okay, at least they're showing that she can at least hold her own and not just the screen box.
You know what you need to do, Zion? You need to listen to some of the Companion Chronicles with Vicky in it, with Maureen O'Brien. She does a really good job there. She is not, when Big Finish takes a character that's minor and you don't really like, you'll like
Mhm.
it. I can sit through an Adric episode of the Fifth Doctor with Big Finish that I could not do with the TV series. I can handle it. I can't. It's, I hate Adric. Did I ever say that on my show? I think I did.
I was traumatized when Adric died as a kid. When it happened, I was like mortified.
Re-edited the episode with the soundtrack, put on a happy face during the credits.
So yeah,
I'm sick. I was sick back then. Put on a happy face. Yeah.
but along those same lines, I cheered at the end of Doomsday.
Okay.
Same here. Look, that's my whole thing with bringing those two back. It's like when they went away, I'm like, okay, the soap opera BS is done. Thank you.
Right.
But
Mhm.
like, this is what the modern people like. So like, I get why they went back to it. It's just not my cup of tea. Like I'm of of the lines of like the the um the Seeds of Doom, where like the Doctor is obviously an alien. He is here to save your planet and be however he is in the episode, how how however the story needs him to be. For like that story, he's like super dead serious, right? And Sarah is just trying to just hold on to your life as they're trying to deal with this freaking space plant. Meanwhile, I look at season 2, and like they had that Scooby Doo thing at one point, and and there's a whole lot of romance, and I'm just feeling like I get why you like it, but I just don't like it.
You know what you're describing, Zion, is something that deals with characterization, and we'll talk about it more later. Is the reason I don't like Clara. And the reason I don't like Clara is she is about 3 different characters.
Thank you very
Yes,
much. You've just
yes.
given my reason. Thank you.
She's Impossible Girl is good, but that should have been done. And then because Impossible Girl Clara isn't really Danny Pink Clara. And
No.
Danny
Yes.
Pink Clara isn't really the one that wants to be the doc. So she's several different characters that have no consistency, and the same thing could be said for Rose. I'm okay. I love season 1. Let's go have adventure Rose, but clingy girlfriend Rose, I'm ready for her to go out the door.
Yes.
Well, next week when we do Snare, we're back to One Adventure Rose.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fun. That'll be fun.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
No. Go ahead.
Just to round it out, the Companion Chronicles. This is our first Companion Chronicle we've reviewed. I felt it was an okay story. I mean, it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't the best companion chronicle I've ever listened to. Wasn't the worst. It was good. I mean, it was directed by Lisa Bowerman, who is our
Yay.
dear friend, since
Mine
she knows what she's doing. So yeah, William Russell was good. He does a bad Vicky impression, but he admitted to it at the end of the audio. So we're all good. I'm all good there. Any different
Well,
opinions on it?
I enjoyed it. If I hadn't heard it the first time, and then this was coming in
Mhm.
new, I think the Twilight Zone-ish nature of the story by the end of it is really cool. And it was cool the
Mhm.
first time, and taking my mind off of what I watched before,
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I like it when you have things that switch up at the end, and I'm not
Right.
going to go into what that is. Listen to it. You know, it's interesting. I was going to say you cannot buy the CD anymore. You have to download this from the Big Finish website now.
Yep.
Oh.
100%.
Only downloadable now. I think I sold this one back in the day when I was selling Big Finish audios. I think I did sell a bunch of the Companion Chronicles, and this was one of
Mhm.
the ones I sold. But yeah, now it's downloadable only.
All right.
Interesting. I liked it. Like I liked it like how I like the 13th Dog story. As we said, how that story was was a perfect lineup with how the 13th Dog stories were. This is a perfect lineup with how the first Dog stories were. We're here. We're going to get our bearings. The story gets going, and when it gets going, it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question, Jarrod. Are we
Mhm.
gonna use the randomizer, or are we gonna do snare, or are we gonna do both?
Well, the next episode we're going to have is going to be the Ninth Doctor Adventure Snare.
Snare,
But
right?
but for the episode after that, we need to
Oh,
randomize
we do need a random. You don't want
Yes,
to
we
wait? You
do.
want to randomize tonight?
because if I got
Tell everyone what the randomizer is. Explain
the
it to
random
everyone.
okay, the randomizer is how we're going to be selecting our random stories for the month. It is at TARDIS.guide, and you are able to put in what type of media, from what era of the show are you want: television, books, audio dramas, audiobooks, webcasts, minisodes, comics, short stories, and from what range. Do you want just Doctor Who? Do you want Torchwood, etc.? Do you want just classic stories, just new stories? Yeah. So I want to go ahead and randomize our next
Before
story.
you do, may I
Mhm.
add a suggestion to the
Yes.
range of the randomizer?
Yep.
I'd like to put it, because Lisa Bowerman happened to direct the one we just
hmm
listened to this week. Can we put Bernice Summerfield in the
hmm
possibilities of the randomizer?
Oh
Yep.
yes,
Okay. What about the Unbound?
I would always put the Unbound in. 'Cause
yes.
you don't
Okay.
have a lot of stories, but they're good.
Okay. So we
We
are
don't
going.
need K9. We can skip K9.
Yeah, because you only have that Australian show for that. All right.
That's a great
Next.
show, though. Sort of,
Okay.
not really. Okay.
So we're the randomizer is going to pick from television, books, audio dramas, and audiobooks from the Doctor Who, Torchwood, Sarah Jane Adventures class, Worlds of Doctor Who, Bernice Summerfield, and Unbound ranges from all eras of the show, and randomize.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
so it was State of Change, but I hit it twice and it brought up another companion
So
chronicle.
you changed the state of change. You changed, and it went to Old Soldiers.
Yes, I didn't think it was processing, but it actually was. So I hit the button twice before it had loaded. So do you want to go with State of Change or the book, or do you want to stick with Companion Chronicle? I'll let you both decide.
I enjoy State of Change. I could reread that.
Sure.
Okay. So we have the Missing Adventure State of Change that we will be reading for our randomizer for next month.
Not next for next, right, in 2 episodes, but
Two
in
episodes.
1 episode, we are doing the Ninth Doctor and Rose Snare, which came out from Big Finish today as recording August 6th, 2025. So
Yep.
we're going to review that next time.
Yep, next time.
So we have 4 weeks to read a novel.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
all right. With that note, anything else, gentlemen, or are we ready to bid sayonara and hop into our TARDIS until next time?
I'm getting ready to hop into my TARDIS, but I cannot wait to find out in a couple of weeks if Alex Kingston is going to be on Strictly Come Dancing.
Here's
I'm
hoping.
excited about that.
Awesome. All right. Well, on that note, on behalf of Zion Kiros and Mark Baumgarten, I'm Jarrod Cooper, and thank you for listening to the TARDIS Travel Guide. We will talk to you next time.